Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? It's so lovely to see all your beautiful faces. Let me pin this video. There we go. Then I can still see all of your lovely faces, and then you guys get to see mine as well. How are you all doing? Please tell me in the comments how you guys are feeling. This is Kinstakuri Me, and it is the second session, and today we go into the dark night of the soul, which sounds very spooky, like a horror movie, but actually it is a space that so many of us go through, and not once in our lifetimes, but a few times in our lifetimes. And it is so important to honor that space and treat it with love and care. And so I want to really look at that. And today we're going to cover the dot-to-dot picture, the splinter, the breaking point, light at the end of the tunnel, and the sweet, bitter brilliance of this too shall pass, which I think is just one of the best lessons I've ever learned. And so I'm going to share it with you guys today. Okay, so I see that we've got Stacy in the room, we've got Danak in the room, feeling excited. We've got Mona, we've got Nicole, we've got Margin, we've got Michael. He just got home, so he just made it in time. Marlene, Cherie, she's tuning in from Johannesburg. So we've got Northcliffe, Johannesburg. We've got Sharon from Los Angeles. And oh, you love my green earrings, Danak. Thank you so much. They are my favorites. Okay, so let's get back into the space now that I've said hello to you all. How many of you have felt that this past week has been quite an emotional week? The energies seem to have really intensified in the past short, even just week. It's like accelerated quite a lot. And I see from you guys, yes, yep, very intense, a lot of intensity. It was very emotional, a lot of mixed feelings, some storms, but also beautiful moments. That's gorgeous. I feel like there has been a change in energy. Absolutely, yes. So I agree with you guys. I totally agree with you guys. And I have been very consciously needing to practice what I preach over the last week. So it's one thing to know the knowledge in your head, and it's another thing completely to actually live the knowledge in your life. And although it comes so much easier to me because I have been practicing it now for a while, and so a lot of times it is second nature, there are times like this where I need to still go, okay, Susanna, just take a deep breath. It's okay that all of these things are happening. It's okay that you've got these feelings. It's okay that technology is just not working when you need to be live. Just go with the flow, take a breath, and keep going. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys because I always want to make sure that you know you're not alone. We are all absolutely in this journey together, and you're not alone. And we are all feeling the intensity from fourth to the fifth dimension shift. There has been a lot of accelerated movement. So that is intensified as well. What is really good, and this is why it's almost like the universe just gave you all a gift. What is really good, how many of you have done your wheel of life? Me, yay, I can see lots of me's and lots of yeses, yay. Okay, me, okay, one not yet. One of the quotes I read recently, and I just absolutely loved it, so I wanted to share it with you guys today, is so many people thought 2020 is going to be my year of having everything that I want. And instead, so many people have found that 2020 is the year of celebrating and acknowledging and feeling gratitude for all the things that we have. Now, the interesting thing with that is, as you know, gratitude is the great amplifier of bringing more of what you want to you. And so the more we focus on the gratitude, the more that expands. And so I urge you, please, guys, please do
your homework. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a video. Are you girls and guys ready? Yes? Are you energized? Are you ready to dive in? Yes, yes, yes. I've been doing a lot of upgrading from a spiritual perspective, and with that comes purging. Now, I know that I have mentioned to you guys that we are going through a shift. One of the things that I spoke about at the Women's Day event was that there is a mass emergence, there's this accelerated emergence of wounds that is going on, is that I need to actually start at the beginning where what I call the dark night of my soul, the going into the dark night of my soul, because I think that that's going to give you a great context of everything that comes afterwards. You know, I mentioned Steve Jobs says that life is a dot-to-dot picture. And what I've really learned is that if we can stop and look at everything that happens in our lives like a dot-to-dot picture, like this happened because it's going to connect me to this, and because it's connected to that, and then it's connected to that. It's one of the most empowering things we can do, because we suddenly see the picture, the reason why all of these things are coming together. Are you guys with me? Do you understand what I'm saying? I see that Caitlin is nodding. Thank you, Caitlin, for nodding. I see Diane is nodding, and she's giving me a thumbs up. Is everybody else? Yes, yes, yes. Debbie, Charity, thank you, Andrea. Okay, great. So we're all on the same page. So I'm going to start with a little story that while I was really sick, I watched an interview, and it was with Michael Singer. He wrote the book, The Untethered Soul. Have you guys read The Untethered Soul before? It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, it's amazing how we always take the information our brain needs to hear, right? At different times. People can be talking about this, but your brain needs to hear this. And so that's the information that you take. And I remember listening to his interview, and it made so much sense to me, the way in which we heal. So some of you will have heard this before, but I'm going to go over it again because it's really important. You know, if you get a splinter in your toe, that toe will find every table, every wall, every corner of anything, and it will bump into it. Yes? Have you guys experienced that before? Give me a yes in the comments, or just give me a hands up or something, a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, when we get a splinter in our toe, it goes and finds every corner and every corner. And so what do we do, guys? What do we do when that happens? We get a plaster, because we're like, that is really sensitive when it hits. So I'm just going to put a plaster. I'm going to cover that up so that I don't have to really look at it, because it's too deep to just pull out with my fingers. And so I'm just going to cover it up so that it's just not there, except every corner of every table, of every wall, you bump that damn splinter into it. And so you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to put another plaster and another plaster. And eventually, if you do not take that splinter out, what happens? It becomes infected, and you have no choice. You have to put on your big girl panties or your big boy pants, and you have to go in there. You have to take off those plasters, and you have to dig around, and you have to pull that splinter out. Now, the exact same thing happens with your soul, with your heart, body, mind connection. What happens is that something happens in our lives, an incident, an occurrence. It happens in our lives, and it goes inside of us. And if it's too big, what we do is our mind shuts it away, puts it somewhere in the subconscious, so that we don't deal with it, because we don't want to look at it, because it's too ugly to deal with, right? Are you guys following what I'm saying here? You pack it away, you go, oh, I'm not going to deal with it. And often you don't even remember, because you've packed it away. and you carry on. And what happens when you pack it away, that plaster that you're putting over, you actually put on a mask. It's a coping mechanism. So you go, I can cope with this. Oh, what are you talking about? No, I'm perfectly fine. Who is a sunshine person who is putting out to the world, I'm fine, guys. What do you mean, me? I'm wounded? No, that's not me. I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. How many of you have done that? You put on this mask. Yes, I'm kidding. Me, 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 me. We all do it. The problem is that over time, we put on so many masks that we have no idea what is sitting beneath. And if we do not look at it, what happens? Dis-ease. What is dis-ease? What is disease? It's dis-ease within the soul, within the heart, within the mind, within the body. That's what it is. I 100% believe in the mind-body connection, that our emotions manifest things within our bodies. 100%. It is crazy when I start telling you the things that happened to me. Lupus, systemic lupus, if you look it up in the mind-body connection, is your body trying to kill itself. That's what it says. Your body trying to kill itself. When I tell you the story of that moment of when things shut off and within 3 months I was in a wheelchair, there's no coincidence there. My body had given up on me and said enough. There's a great book. There's lots of different books on the body-mind connection. My favorite, the one that I've found most accurate, is Deb Shapiro, Your Body Speaks Your Mind. So does everyone get that that's the only way to heal, is actually take off those masks, stand in your truth, and look at that thing, that initial wound, and actually look at it and remove it. Okay, so that was the first thing that we had to get really clear on. So for me, in your exercise book, you're going to see something that says, what triggers you? What are the triggers? Now, what are the triggers? I'm going to tell you a story. This is how I got sick. Now, I'm sure it had been festering for a long time. I don't know if you guys know, but cancer exists in the body for an average of 8 years before you are diagnosed. That is the average time that cancer exists in a body, 8 years before you are diagnosed. Isn't that a bit mind-blowing? You know, we all think that it's like all of a sudden. 8 years. So if we have got these wounds, what is living beneath the surface and for how much time? We don't know. It can manifest like this, but often it takes time. It's a time of growth. So I had moved to Cape Town. I was living the life. I was super excited about my life. I was a film producer, which I'd always dreamt of being. I'd always had this image of sitting at the back of a theater and seeing the credits roll. And then I helped create that thing that was up on the screen. So I was super excited about the fact that I was finally doing that. I was living my dream. My nickname was Little Miss Frickin' Sunshine. Can I swear on this group? Does anyone get offended by swearing? Just say no if you don't. No. Great. Okay. So if I offend anyone, I'm very, very sorry. My nickname was Little Miss Fucking Sunshine because I was that excited about life. I was like, woo, woo, all the time, right? And of course, this was a mask, guys, but that's how excited I was about life. Everybody thought I was. And there is an aspect of me that is absolutely true. And now I live that aspect in truth. But then it was a mask. I was not living in my truth. Why do I know it's a mask? Because I would react to things like this. I was on edge the whole time. I was constantly on edge the whole time. And so people would say something and I had no patience. I would just react. And my sister actually said to me, she said, Susanna, you keep acting like you're happy, but you're not happy. And I was like, what? And I'd react. I'd get cross with her. What is reacting, guys? It's reenacting an old wound. when we react, we are literally re-experiencing something that lies underneath that hurt us. That's what happens when we react. Does that make sense? Because if you're reacting, you're reliving the trauma. Even if your conscious mind doesn't understand what's going on, your body, your memory cells are reliving the trauma of that situation. So this is why I want you to be very clear on what your triggers are. So I'm busy producing this film and I think I'm all cool because I'm one of the youngest female producers in South Africa and I'm so cool and I'm going about my thing. And I encounter, because this is my pattern, because I was abused when I was little, I encounter this massive male figure. Now, of course, he has to be massive because it's mirroring the experience I had when I was little. So he's this big male figure who is very overpowering. He makes me feel like I have no power. He makes me feel dirty, inadequate, useless, not wanted, all of these things. Now, he's not doing it in the same way as my abuser did it when I was little, but he's doing all these things. And I'm not connecting it yet because I hadn't remembered that I'd been abused yet. And so all I'm experiencing is this man who is triggering me and he is upsetting me and he's making me feel all of these feelings, and I'm reacting, and I'm trying to do my work and I'm trying to just get on with things, but I am just reacting. Have you guys heard that saying, when your blood boils? The reason why we have these strange sayings, guys, is because they do actually relate somehow to reality. I was so angry that my blood boiled to the point where I was fevering. I was having these intense fevers. I was that angry by this person, by what he was triggering inside me. And this was the thing that I believe started really triggering the dis-ease that was lying underneath the surface. And I started doing energy work like I always do. I've been doing energy work my whole life. And I did body talk. The first body talk practitioner that I contacted, he said, Susanna, I've never had this ever before I've been practicing for 20 years. He said, there's too much fire. It's too hot. I don't know what you are so angry about, but it is massive. I don't know if I can help you with this. I had to go through a couple of people to try and find somebody who could help me, and I was not getting anywhere. I ended up leaving that project. I kind of just finalized everything I needed to do, and I handed it over to another producer because I could feel how badly it was triggering me. But those trigger points were there because why? Do you know what the universe does? The universe is that wall and that corner of the table and that door that your poor toe was knocking into. Do you remember that little splinter? That's the universe. You know why it puts these things in our way? It's because the universe's deepest desire is to have you heal, is to have you heal these wounds. And the only way that it's going to have you heal these wounds is to make you aware that the wounds exist. Because how can we heal what we don't know is there? Do you get what I'm saying? Crystal, Pip, Natalie, Veet, Allison, Kate, Annalore, Natalie? Okay, great. Yes. But so he was triggering all those things. That started sort of in October, lasted for 2 months, October, November. By December, by New Year's Eve, I was in bed. New Year's Eve, everybody was partying. I was in bed fevering with anger. That's what was happening for me. So that was when the pain started in my wrist. So I actually thought that I had tendonitis. That's what I initially thought I had. So it manifested in my wrist and it came down my arm and then it spread all the way across the rest of my body. So that was the beginning of the illness. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I want you guys to take time, work through your workbook, and I want you to really look at your life. Where are you triggered? Really think about it. Just do some free writing for a couple of minutes a day. I've said minimum 5 minutes, but just do some free writing to really start recognizing where you are triggered in your life. Because once we identify those trigger points, then we can start collapsing them. My breaking point came in Easter of the next year. So that was 2013. So that was at the end of 2012. In 2013, around Easter, I had started dating this very lovely guy in my haze of pain, of in and out of hospitals and emergency rooms. And I actually think the universe just sent him as an angel to look after me because I was pretty useless. It's sometimes that happens, Daphne. Angels are sent to look after us. But he literally, I mean, it was at that time when I had been told, now I'd been diagnosed after going to doctor. They thought I had rheumatoid arthritis. They thought I had this. They thought I had that. They couldn't figure it out. Eventually, my GP got another last set of my blood tests back. And he said to me, he said, oh, I can't deal with this. And I said, what? And he said, no, you have to go to a specialist. And I was like, tell me what's going on. And he refused to show me what was on the paper. But I saw that it was fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, and a couple of other things. And there was the possibility of lupus. Now, I just met somebody who, somebody they loved had died of lupus. So that was a little bit scary for me. When I went to the specialist, he went through a series of questions with me. They took more blood tests and he said to me, no, you've got fibromyalgia. The only thing you can do, and I'm saying this in inverted commas because it's not, the only thing that you can do, according to the specialist for fibromyalgia, was manage the pain with medication. So from a little homeopathic baby, Schedule 7 and Schedule 5 drugs. Now I've got brain fog. My entire body is in pain. And I'm put on these Schedule 7 drugs. I just was not coping with this at all. Has there been a time in your guys' life where you have just gone, I can't, this is just too much. I cannot do it. Just say me too in the comments, because the reason why I'm asking this is because I want you guys to know you're not alone. All of us have been there. I'm not alone. Me too, me too, me too, me too, me too. We have all been in this space of just like, I'm there now. Lisa, you're not alone. You're not alone. I have fibromyalgia and I'm there now. There is a way out of this fibromyalgia. I'm just letting you know, because it is not just managed by painkillers. I do not believe it. Something interesting did happen to me when I went to that specialist. He said to me, oh, Nicola, he said to me, he said, a lot of fibromyalgia. And now, guys, this is difficult. And I'm sharing my deepest things with you because I just want you to know you're not alone. I want you to get it. You're not alone. He said a lot of people who are diagnosed with fibromyalgia have abuse, sexual abuse in their past. And I remember just being a bit taken aback and going, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not my reality. Anyway, took the drugs, went home. That doctor put me on a medication that if you were suffering from any type of depression, exacerbated depression, and could cause suicidal tendencies, a doctor put me on that medication. So in the midst of me feeling like I can't cope because I'm trying to just get up in the morning, I started absolutely failing at life, guys, because I couldn't function. So I had a job, I was producing an online show, and I just wasn't delivering anything. And the guy I was working with didn't understand what was going on because he was used to me delivering like this, and I just wasn't delivering anything. And then came my breaking point, and my breaking point didn't happen because of me not coping. My breaking point happened because my parents came to visit, and I'd been trying to prove to everyone that I was fine, that everything was fine, and I could cope with everything. But they came to visit, and I said goodbye to them, and they walked out the house, and then they walked back in the house, and I hadn't heard them. And I'd fallen on the ground, and I was crying. I was just sobbing because I was in so much pain, and I didn't know how to do this anymore. I didn't know how to get through that next step, and I didn't know what to do next because I'd been to every specialist. I tried the medication. Nothing was working. I was just stuck where I was. And that wasn't even the breaking point. The breaking point was looking up from that puddle that I was on the ground and seeing the hopelessness in my parents' faces. The way they looked down at me, just not knowing what to do. Now, I know that a lot of you have family and friends that care about you, that you look at and you see their desperation in not knowing how to help you. Does anyone else know how that feels? And have you been on the other side where there's somebody in your life that is so desperate and in such a difficult place, but you want to help them, but you don't know how. You don't know what to do to help them. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm talking about. Yes, both sides. Yes, I am there now. Lots of love. Oh, guys, lots of love to all of you. So much love. It is so hard to be there. I know. So the first thing I want you to do is allow yourself to feel that. Just allow yourself to feel that and be there, because when we deny our feelings, that is when they start becoming wounds inside us. That is when they cause disease. There's light at the end of the tunnel, guys. There's light at the end of this tunnel. If I can do this, you can do it. I say that with 100% belief. If I can do this, anybody can do this. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Do you believe that your lives can change? Because I need you to say yes. I need you to believe, because if you don't believe that your lives can change, nothing can change. Yes, 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 we have the power. Yes, you are amazing. You are beings of light, and you can self-heal, and you can heal with the right support. I believe it, from whatever it is your challenge is. Yes, 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 yes. Good. Yes. Now, I was in such a dark place that what happened was I started Googling. After that happened with my parents, I was like, I cannot be a burden on the people that I love for the rest of my life. That's what my brain thought. I cannot be a burden on the people that I love for the rest of my life. I'm not coping on my own physically anymore. So in no time, I'm going to have to move in with them. And I can't do that. I can't be this burden for people that I love for the rest of my life. So in this haze of depression, like a deep, deep, deep depression, I decided that the kindest thing to do for everyone was to take my life. That was the kindest thing that I could figure out to do for everyone involved. I was at the bottom of a well that was so deep. And I want you guys to picture that. It was a well that was so deep, so deep, that there was no trace of light. There was nothing. And when I reached out, there were just walls all around. There was no way out of this well for me. And so that's what I did. I researched how to do it, and I decided I was going to overdose on medication. And because I was so out of my mind on the medication that a doctor had put me on, when I read the warning on the medication that said, do not take if you are suffering from any type of depression, will cause suicidal tendencies, I didn't even register that. I just read in the next thing, if you overdose, it will cause your heart to stop. That's all my brain read there, because I was desperate, and your brain will look for the information that it wants to find. Does that make sense? Your brain will always look for the information that it wants to find. And so that's what I did. I overdosed on this medication, and I took it in a specific way, which I'm not going to repeat now because I don't want to share that, because I don't want to assist anybody else in attempting to kill themselves correctly. But I had done research, and so I took it in a specific way. And just as I was slipping in and out of consciousness, my ex-husband, who I have he is one of my soulmates for sure. I have an incredible connection with him. He phoned me out of the blue. I hadn't spoken to him in a while. And the ringing of the phone jolted me, and it caused me to throw up. I got sick because I got a fright, because I was obviously, and so I threw up and threw up and threw up. And he checked if I was okay. And somewhere in the blur of that, I sent that angel guy who I'd actually broken up with. Oh, guys, you've watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? Stage 5 clinger kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. So that was my way of coping with this angel guy that had come along. I was like now frantic, and I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I was desperate and felt like a mess, and I was that like ugly desperate. And so I totally turned into that stage 5 clinger, because I knew he would go, can't cope with that. And whew, off he went running. Of course he did. It was what I intended for him to do. But off he went running. And then in this mess of a haze, I sent him a message, and I said, I don't want my sister to find me like this. Please make sure she doesn't find me like this. I'd packed my sister a bag. She lived with me. I'd packed her a bag to go to my parents. I'd bought her a flight so that she could go, because I was scared. I didn't want her to be alone, when I had left. And he came and took me to hospital. And I don't remember much of it. I just remember waking up in the emergency feeling like I had failed. I had failed again. I'd failed. And so that was my breaking point. That was my breaking point. Now, they wanted to lock me up in a clinic. They said to my parents, she is not mentally sound. It is not safe for her. And we're not sure if it's safe for other people for her to be in, normal public and reality. And so we recommend that you actually send her to an institution and just lock her up there for a while. And then you can see what happens. And my mom, in her incredible wisdom, said, something else is going on here. I know my daughter, and this is not my daughter. And so they found a secondary facility to send me to. Now, what is ironic, and I always laugh about this because, guys, we have to have a sense of humor in life. We have to look at the parallels and see these things, is that I was in the cardiac ward. Guess why? My heart had been the most affected. And what happened? I had a broken heart, guys. That's why I was there. And there I sat in the cardiac ward. I started having withdrawals from the drugs that the doctors had put me on. Do you know that I've put people in rehab, family members and friends, my whole life? I've put friends and family in rehab, and now I'm sitting there having withdrawals from drugs that a doctor put me on. I put a friend of mine in rehab for heroin addiction. And she came and visited me in hospital, and we laughed. We sat in the parking lot as she held my quivering hand and laughed, because she said, I never thought I would be holding your quivering hand because you're going through withdrawals after you put me in rehab. I went to the same secondary facility she went to. So there I am, this person who's been putting people in rehab in a secondary facility with addicts. It was humbling. It was so humbling, and it was so enlightening, because I saw the other side of the coin. I saw what they were experiencing in a whole new way. And it's so important, guys, because you know how many of you have judged someone on appearance? You've judged them, and afterwards you go, oh, that wasn't right, because they end up being so different from what you thought. Can I get a yes in the comments, please? Because we've all done that. Now, I'm not saying that I judged them, but I have judged people before. But I am saying I did not understand the journey that they were walking through until that time. Now, something beautiful happened in that rehabilitation center. And this is important, is that I realized a few things. The one is that time is the one thing that does not stop until you die. It is moving all the time. Nothing actually stays the same. It is always moving, always, always. And when you feel you are stuck, how many of you have felt stuck before? Say stuck, stuck, stuck if you've felt stuck. When you feel stuck, it just means, okay, yes. It just means that you are in that bottom of that well. But the moment you realize that time is never stopping, even if you're feeling stuck, that well will tip on its side. And you'll realize you're not in a well, guys. You're in a tunnel. It's just a very deep, dark tunnel, but you are moving through that tunnel. And there is light at that end of that tunnel. And I want you to understand that, because I want that image of you moving from this darkness towards the light, because that is where you're going. And there is light. You're not stuck. You are moving. That's the one really important thing that happened for me. I flipped my well into a tunnel, and then the speed of my movement increased. So before I'd been moving, but I hadn't noticed I was moving because it was too dark. And as soon as I flipped, I realized that the speed at which I was moving increased. Does that make sense to you guys? Wow, thank you for that image. Powerful image. Yes, yes. Love this. Amazing. Guys, I'm so glad you get this. Yes, yes, yes. You are moving. You are in a tunnel, guys. And whenever you feel stuck, I want you to remind yourselves. What are you going to remind yourselves? I'm in a tunnel and I'm moving towards the light. Will you remember that? Helpful image. Thank you. The tunnel feels endless. I know. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. It feels so endless. But you know what? The fact that you are here and you're doing this means that you're speeding up that work. And the fact that we've moved into a fifth dimension, a new earth, and you guys will understand that later, means that you can start collapsing things even faster than you ever have before. So I promise you, you guys are on the right path. It does feel endless sometimes, but you're on the right path. The other thing that I learned, and I want you guys to also do this exercise, is have you guys heard that saying, this too shall pass? Put your hands up if you've heard this too shall pass. Yep. Now, I understood the meaning of this too shall pass from the pain aspect during this phase. And there's two. There's a sweet and a sour to this too shall pass. And it became one of my mantras. So when I was feeling overwhelmed, when I was feeling like this tunnel feels endless, I just would repeat it. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. When I was in so much pain physically that I was in and out of consciousness, I would repeat that mantra. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. You know why? Because I knew that this too shall pass. Because the only thing that you can rely on, guys, is that this too shall pass. It's the one thing that is constant. This too shall pass. This moment that we're having right now, it's now in the past. And now this one, it's now in the past, which means you are moving through time. It sounds basic, but it is extremely powerful if you can wrap your heads around that. You get that. Give me if you get that. If you're going to embrace this too shall pass. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Now, I'm going to go into other things, but what I really wanted to share with you, I wanted to do a little visualization for a little bit with you guys tonight. And I just want to give you the other side of that coin of this too shall pass. Were moments like, oh my God, and I get tears in my eyes because I get so overwhelmed with this. Moments that I had in hospital when I was little. My mom was so overwhelmed with the situation that she had at hand. She didn't have time for nurturing the way she would have liked to. And so I grew up very alone. And when I speak about my death, because I speak about my first life and my second life, I think back and, there were moments that I was lying in that hospital bed and my dad, my chosen dad, the best dad in the world that I finally got, was sitting there next to the bed with me, just sitting there in the support of me going through whatever I was going through. And my mom was there. And for the first time, I felt truly like an infant who cannot move or feed themselves or do anything, but is cradled and surrounded by love. And guys, that moment was so precious, but it too shall pass. Do you get it? Moments pass, those beautiful moments that even though that was such a desperately sad moment for so many people, for me, it gave me life. It gave me life to know I was loved and held in that way. And it passed. But then I was healthy one day. And then I had a birthday party with my family and friends, and we laughed and we drank champagne and we had fun. And I stopped and I recognized that I was living life and happy. And that moment too passed, but I didn't let it pass without recognizing the value of that beautiful moment that too shall pass. Do you guys get it? Are you with me? This too shall pass. Every moment shall pass. Value every single moment. Even in the dark night of the soul, there are gifts here. In the dark night of the soul, in the dark night of your soul, I can see some of you are in there now. There are gifts, and this too shall pass. So, sorry for all the snot and the tears and the crying, but I got to be real with you guys. I've got to just share my truth so that you guys hear me and are fully in this with me. All right. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's time for the truth. It is time for the truth. So are you guys ready for a little bit of a guided visualization? Because I'd like to take you in there. And so what I want to do is I want to ask you all to just find a comfortable seated position. Guys, find a quiet place where you can be still and centered. And I want you to just close your doors. That's it, Nicole. Close your doors. Anything that is going to disturb you, just close that and close your eyes. I can see you. So, Crystal, close your eyes. Close your eyes, guys, and just take 3 deep breaths so that you can feel centered and comfortable. And as you get into the space of feeling centered and comfortable, I want you to take another deep breath. And one more. Okay, and just as we take our next breath, I want you to connect with that beautiful golden white light that connects you to your highest self. Up in the cosmos, up in the world, in the universe, beyond our planet. And let that beautiful golden white light flow into the top of your head. And today we'll do an accelerated clearing because you've been through it before. This golden white light pours into your head, through your eyes, through your third eye, through your ears, through your mouth, through your nasal passages, and it fills you completely with the love for all things. And then it comes down your neck and into your shoulders and down your arms and into your hands. And then up your hands and up your arms and down your torso and into your heart, and your lungs, and your kidneys, and your spleen, and your gallbladder, and your stomach, through your liver, your digestive system, all of your organs, your reproductive system, and into your base chakra, and then down through your legs, shooting deep into the core of the earth. Beautiful golden white light joining that core of the earth like roots from your highest self, the tip of your tree, all the way down into the center of the earth, where it cradles the beautiful red molten light of the core of the earth. And they mix together, and then they shoot up again. Up through your legs, up your body, through all your organs until they reach your heart. And then, like a divine glowing sun from the center of your heart, you start glowing outwards. And just feel yourself expand. Feel your light expanding outwards, past your physical body, past your room, past your home. Wow, beautiful, massive expansion, guys. Oh, so much light. Lighting up your neighborhood, lighting up your city, your entire continent. And another expansion as we exhale, lighting up the whole world. Beautiful. And now we go beyond the world, beyond our beautiful planet, out into the cosmos. We expand our light that is the love for all things, that connects with all energies that are pure love. No other energies are welcome here. Only energies of pure, authentic love and care for you. And they all surround you as a show of support for you. And now I want you to picture yourself wherever you are on your journey. If it is in that dark tunnel, I want you to picture yourself in that dark space. If you're not there now, but you've been there before, picture yourself in that dark space. You're not within your body, you are just in front of yourself, a couple of meters in front of yourself. Picture yourself there. Feel your heaviness, guys. I feel it. And it's okay. Feel where you are in that moment and welcome in those emotions. I want you to greet those feelings with the same welcome that you would greet joy, that you would greet fun and light. I want you to greet that pain, that helplessness. See them as facets of yourself. And I want you to greet them and I want you to welcome them in. I want you to embrace them and allow them to sit wrapped in your arms. And I want you to thank them for the gifts that they have brought to your life. I know this is difficult for some of you. I know that you haven't figured out how to really move beyond this yet, but just thank them to the best of your capacity right now in the now. Allow yourself to feel whatever feelings come up, whatever emotions come up. Allow yourself to feel them. Then I want you to take in another deep breath. And when we exhale this deep breath, I want you to exhale those feelings. And I want you to picture this tunnel turning into a tunnel of light. And I want you to send those feelings into the light. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. And exhale those feelings down into this tunnel of light. Exhale them. They are being met with love. They are being met with compassion and care and gratitude. Inhale. And exhale those feelings. Send them love. Send them compassion and gratitude and care. And as they go down this passage of white light, see them being transformed into beautiful white golden light. One more. And exhale. Release those feelings. Release them now. and see them being transformed into beautiful white, golden light of ease. And realize that time is not standing still. I want you to picture yourself on whatever it is that is carrying you. It can be a golden chariot. It can be a beautiful couch that is comfortable for you. It can be whatever it is that you want to be on. It can be a train that is powerful and gorgeous. It can be a stallion that you are riding. But I want you to picture very clearly, I want you to picture yourself leaving the fear and the pain and the helplessness behind you, and picture yourself moving through this tunnel, gaining speed as you move. Gain speed as you move and feel the welcoming feelings as you move through this tunnel of those old feelings being transformed, and welcome in feeling of ease. Welcome in a feeling of hope. Welcome in a feeling of joy. Welcome in a feeling of transformation, because you are transforming now, in the now. And then I want you to reach a beautiful destination. It's so filled with light. It's just bright and beautiful and warm and comfortable. Exhale into this comfort. It is comfortable here. Who are you in this space? Who are you in this space of comfort? What do you look like? Picture yourself. What expression do you have on your face? Are you smiling? Are you laughing? Are you just feeling relieved? What are you wearing? What can you smell? I know one of my favorite smells is jasmine in spring. That's such a happy smell for me. What are you smelling in this happy space that you are in? What can you hear? Can you hear waves crashing, or are you near a forest? Can you hear birds chirping? What can you hear in this beautiful space where you are 100% healed, 100% whole, 100% standing in the light? What surrounds you? What can you see around you in this beautiful space? Picture it all. What can you hear? What can you see? What can you smell? What can you feel? Can you taste anything? I love the taste of the ocean air. For me, that's my happy space. What are you tasting in your mouth? And as you enjoy this beautiful space of light, know that it is already on its way to you. In fact, it has already arrived, even if you have not experienced it yet. In your physical reality, you are experiencing it now because it has already started to manifest. And I want want you to come back into your center. And I want you to look up to this beautiful golden white light. And I want you to pull that beautiful golden pyramid of protection over you. This beautiful golden protection pyramid. And I want you to ask it to keep you in that space. To keep all lower vibrational energies outside of your pyramid. All lower vibrational thoughts, feelings, intrusions, anything that does not serve your highest purpose cannot come into this pyramid. This is your safe space and you can visit it anytime you want. And I want you to pull that beautiful golden light back up from the center of the earth into your heart, and pull that beautiful golden light from the universe back into your heart. Keep the glow of your heart alive. Bring it back from the atmosphere out in the cosmos. Bring it back into the planet, into your continent, into your country, into your home, and into your body. Zip yourselves up from head to toe in beautiful white light. When you're ready, come back into the room. And open your eyes. Hello, everybody. Is everybody back in the room? Please just give me a little hello and tell me how you guys are feeling. There's beauty and vulnerability. Yes, absolutely there is. Prashantha. Thank you, Prashantha. There is definitely. Nontlandla, you're such a darling. And so are you. Can I tell you something? You know why I read your comments, guys? Back to you. Hello, feeling good. Yay. Beautiful emotional visualization, sending love and light, relief. Beautiful, very relaxed. Hello, hello, peaceful. Thank you. Feel so light. Thank you. Amazing. Feeling amazing. So calm, at peace. Thank you so much. Beautiful, authentic spirit. Bless you. Charity, right back at you. Feeling good. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful visualization. Maram, Jill, feeling full of light. You give the best guided meditations ever. Thank you, Nontlandla. Thank you very much, Ingrid. Peaceful, embodied, wonderful, lovely. Guys, the reason why I read your comments back to you is because I don't know if you know Rumi, but I love Rumi. And he says, I am but a mirror of what exists in you. So when you see something in me, when you see a light, when you see something inside me, you know what? It exists in you. That's where it exists, right there in you, beautiful souls that are tuned in right now and watching this, whether you're watching a replay or whether you're watching it live. You know there are no mistakes in life, and you know that you are watching this, and I am but a mirror of what exists in you. So I honor you, each and every one of you. I honor you. I honor the magic in you. I honor the vulnerability in you. Hi, everyone. But it's just so true, isn't it? That everything that exists within us exists within everyone, because we are all an ocean in a drop and a drop in the ocean. And so we are all part of the same conscious collective. And so that's why I love reading your comments back to you. Dana is saying she's feeling at ease. Marlene is saying, I'm back. Thank you. Feeling at peace. What is that one? Tenderness. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. And a tenderness. Thank you. Thank you. Energized. Definitely best guided meditations ever. Very peaceful. Great. Thank you. That was very emotional, what you just said, that we are all part of the same ocean, or the whole presentation, because I know it's quite an emotional presentation for me as well. Love your guided meditations. Seeing the white light gets easier every time. You know, Mona, it's so true. The more we practice these things, and that's why I encourage you guys to go back and redo the guided meditations, because the more we do them, the easier it becomes, and the more in flow we do become. And so it becomes easier to visualize, it becomes easier to attract, it becomes easier to release, it becomes easier to embody. It's all part of practice. So I'm so glad you brought that up. That was a very different experience for me. The visualizations were very 5D, no time and space. Things just were. It was so weird. I couldn't see things in 3D. How awesome. I just allowed it to play out. Cherie, that is beautiful. I love that. I had a lot of hot flush or sweat in the tunnel, but after that, very calm, at peace, beautiful landscape, lovely margin. Nicole, very emotional presentation about what we see in you. It already exists in us. Absolutely, Dana. And I mean that with every single inch of my soul. You know, it's so humbling. I always am humbled when people give me a compliment. I always go, oh, thank you so much. But I always love to remind them that if they are seeing that thing in me, it exists in them. And so I am literally just a mirror. I'm a mirror for everything, every possibility, good and bad, that exists within you. You will see mirrored in other people, including me. So please do remember that as you go on your journey, because I know a lot of people are struggling right now. And so it's to be gentle with yourselves, because we are all the same and we are all on the same journey. Does that make sense, guys? Please just give me a yes in the comments so that I can see that everybody, that's connected with everybody, that resonated with everybody. I want to make sure we're all together on the same page. Whether you're watching this live or a recording, please just do it in the comments. Yes, 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 yes. Yay, that's such an amazing thought. It is, and it's true. It's wonderful because it's true. Stacy, I couldn't settle. I had thoughts invading my space and distracting noises. Okay, so Stacy, my invitation to you would be to please rewatch this at some point, once, twice, however many times you want to. But remember, the more you do it, the more stillness you will find. And remember that, you know, so many people, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but, you know, our monkey mind is going to be very active and going, oh, think of this. Oh, let's do that, you know, but it's just about seeing your little monkey mind. And what I did initially is I pictured it as this really cute little monkey so that I wouldn't get cross with it anymore, because I used to get really cross with my own mind for not sitting still so that I could focus. And then as soon as I started picturing it as this like really cute little monkey who actually just wanted to play with me, then it was much easier to just go, not right now, little monkey, I'm busy, and just refocus. So maybe try that out, guys. It's something that definitely worked for me. Yes, 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 absolutely. I love Rumi. I gave a gift to my old manager years ago that said, what you see in me is the beauty in you. She was an amazing, thoughtful manager. Perfect. Michael, yes. Feel tired afterwards. Need to let go. Snooze. Totally understandable as well. And that's also why I say to you guys in the self-care, just respect and honor where you are. Some people will feel energized. Some people will need to go and just have a good long sleep. Remember what I said to you about self-care, guys, in terms of drinking a lot of water. Remember, this is my glass of water that I carry around with me. It's 500 mils, and I've got a 750 ml bottle, and I'm constantly drinking water because I'm dealing with so many energies all the time. I need to be flushing that through my system. And I urge you guys to do the same. Again, with the salt, either a lovely salt bath or on your feet, please take care, okay? I just wanted to make a few notes. One of the questions that came up about fibromyalgia, I don't know what they saw in my blood to diagnose me with fibromyalgia, but the more and more people that I've met and the more and more research that I've done, a lot of times doctors will diagnose you with fibromyalgia when they don't actually know what it is. They actually don't know what else could be causing this acute pain and these symptoms. And so I say that very broadly, but I know quite a few people who have been misdiagnosed with fibromyalgia. The other thing about fibromyalgia is that they say that it's incurable and all you can do is manage it with painkillers and certain things, but it's incurable. I am living proof that that is not true. So if any of you have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia or something else, because I don't, and it might sound crazy, but I don't buy into the fact that things are completely incurable for absolutely everyone, because we are all so unique and we all have access to different healings within our souls. And if it is your soul's journey to heal from something, your soul will find a way. Does that make sense, guys? Can you open your minds to that possibility? Just give me a yes in the comments if that is something you can conceive as being possible. Agreed? Yes. Yep. Yes. Okay, great. Because I think it's important, because we are actually self-healing mechanisms. Our minds, our hearts, our bodies, and our spirits. And when they are in alignment, and if it is the journey of our soul, what our soul has chosen, we will heal. I believe that. If we haven't chosen that on a soul level, if our soul has chosen something else can happen. So I hope that answers the question about fibromyalgia. The other thing I want to say, one of my clients, my one-on-one clients, and I were having a discussion, and she wants to get off all of her medication. And I understand that, because I remember being on so much medication and it was exhausting just trying to take all the medication. And so I completely understand that. But for everybody that is on medication, prescription medication, please handle this with care. Please handle yourselves with care. There are certain medications that are required for a certain period of our lives. Please don't just stop taking medications and go, I'm going to now do this without any medications. I mean, I love the enthusiasm, don't get me wrong, but please take care of yourselves. There is a process to things. I took time. I gave myself a goal. I got professional support from all different directions in order to get where I was going. I didn't just suddenly stop taking Schedule 5 medication. Please hear me on this, guys. Please say I hear you in the comments, because this is very, very, very important. I need you guys to know that, yes, this is a journey. Yes, you can shift and change whatever it is that you want to, but you're going to do it with care, and you're going to do it with support, and not just be cowboys and girls. Okay? Yes, I hear you. I've got 2 I hear yous. I hear you. Okay, balance is key. Great. I want lots of I hear yous. I hear you. More I hear yous, please. Okay. Another thing is that one of the things I love is that we've got all levels of consciousness and creation in this group. And I love it because we've got people who are doing this for the first time and are very new to this. And we've got people who are very in this and have been doing it for a long time. Please remember that an accountability buddy is just your friend in this situation. It's the person that you're going to connect with to go, okay, this is where I am on my journey and I'm battling with this. This is what I'm finding easy. I have done this homework. I haven't done this homework. How can I catch up? This sort of thing. But it's not about you counseling each other. Are you hearing me, guys? Mini counseling sessions amongst you is not what the accountability buddies is for. It's really just your homework buddy, and to have somebody, a compassion buddy, somebody that goes, I get where you are. Yes. Can I have a yes from all of you? Yes, yes, yes. Got it, got it. Compassion buddy. And to make sure you do your homework. Those are the important things. Compassion buddies, and to make sure that you do your homework. Yes. Okay, great. And just before I go, I want to thank Wendy for all of the incredible work that she does to help me keep this going, this big machine that is Thrive, and then my courses as well. Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sure you will all get to know Wendy as we go through this. She is fantastic. And if you have any questions, if you get stuck, if you get lost, if you lose a link, just email us and contact us. The other way to do it is ask in the group on Facebook, because a lot of people will know where the links are and how to find things. Thank you. Thank you. More, please. Look after yourselves. Much love. Many blessings to you all. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye for now.